Hi Virgo, hope you guys are doing great today. Happy New Year. This is going to be general messages for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for January 1st to January 5th, 2020. Let's get right into it. I'm going to be pulling from the Good Tarot for crowning energy. Then we're going to pull a gift in for the week and then a challenge for the week. And then we'll pull a love oracle for those of you in the space of love and a closing energy for all Virgos. Okay, let's see what we have going on for you guys. As I do like the energy this week, it really is pretty good. You know, we have Moon in Pisces, trine Mars and Scorpio on the first, so that's like a really great moon, just of understanding, caring. Could be a little lazy, but kind of like a meandering kind of lazy, but still, we're all gonna just be seeing our responsibilities in a better light and feeling really confident about fulfilling them. You know, less laborious kind of vibe, which is nice. Okay, so we have the Eight of Earth, which is the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, very nice. Okay, let's pull your blessing for the week. Is the Ten of Earth, Ten of Pentacles, guys. Hello, that's beautiful. That's a nice gift, Ten of Pentacle energy. Let's see what your challenge is going to be this week. Seven of Earth, Seven of Pentacles. So some of you might be dealing with some job stuff. But okay. I mean, I like the Eight of Earth. So you guys, yeah, definitely like in very much of a working vibe. You know, if you're not working, you're thinking about what you need to do to actually level yourself up at work. That's what I'm getting. But I like what's going on in the sky to do this, right? Because on that first, that Moon in Pisces, trine Mars in Scorpio that I mentioned, that aspects just the opening up of new possibilities and opportunities that you're either realizing now are there or that are going to be presented to you. So we're all going to be tending to connect to our higher purpose, feeling more optimistic and just feeling a lot of support to solve problems and do new things and get involved in something new, learning something new, teaching, sharing, anything like that. And what I do like that I want to mention is we do have the new moon in Aries at around like 11 or it's like 11:01 to be exact on the night of January 1st. So that's happening around 11 o'clock. And that's going to make us all feel more excited and ready on a soul level to really move into and take on new things, right? Now, but what I like though is that the moon is void for a couple of hours before that. And I know a lot of people don't really like that because it's kind of like, oh, nothing's happening. But I actually think that's a really good energy for thinking, since no aspects are really getting in our way for clear and honest thinking. So I do like that. For Wednesday night, you know, like some late night thinking before you go to bed, stuff's going to be hitting you. Epiphanies are going to be coming in. So I really like that. And that's the night before we have the Mercury conjunct Juno, which is on the 2nd. And that's really great because that's all about new perception and a new optimism and great energy for planning and dotting I's and crossing T's. So, you know, just another positive energy. And then on the 3rd, we have Mars enters into Sagittarius. So that's going to be like, let's go, kind of like restless wanderlust, I'm calling it. Really wanting to start something new, do something new, right? And this is going to be with us for like 6 weeks until the middle of February. So that's really good. So, okay, so we pulled the cards for your gift of the week, which is 10 of Earth, 10 of Pentacles, really awesome. Let's just remind ourselves here, 8 of Earth, 8 of Pentacles. This is about really getting yourself ready. I mean, it's like you've been putting in the hard work. You've been putting in the hard work, Virgo, and it's like you're ready. You're just ready. There's definitely something positive happening in your work sector. This is the card of like, for example, let's say you decided a while ago to change careers and you had to go through some sort of training program. You went through the training program and you started, and now you're really really getting your feet wet in that industry or in that position. If you just started a business, you put in the hardest work and you're building and you're starting to see the fruits of your labor. This is like the incline on the way up. The thing is, I do want to mention about this energy is that while you're in it, it's hard to see all the benefits that are happening, only because it's the kind of thing where like you're making money, but you might not have enough money to spend on frivolous little niceties that you typically like to purchase in your life. Things that just kind of make you happy, like maybe getting that extra massage when you go to get your mani-pedi or something like that. I mean, something as basic and fundamental as that. It's having, but it's not having the extra. And it's getting frustrated and feeling restless to get to that next level, to get to that next point, right? Because you're so close, and you're really just working towards it. And it is happening, all right? I do have to tell you that when it comes to the crowning, when it comes to the gift, there's a heavy pentacle energy here. For sure. Now, this could have to do with money. For those of you not in that space where, let's say, you are insanely successful already, or you're perfectly at peace with where you're at right now, this can certainly have to do with any kind of relationship. And in that way, rather than it being resources having to do with money or investments or anything like that, it would have to do with emotional, physical, or mental connection with another person. So we have the 5 cards here. We have the High Priestess, which is about you being very tuned into your intuition, recognizing exactly what's necessary, really what's necessary, all right? But you're in a space right now where you feel like you're very unsupported, or something that you're involved with right now is very unsupportive of you. Now, this could be just a way you view another person outside of yourself. So if you're working really hard, you might feel like somebody in your family or maybe your partner just doesn't get you, just doesn't understand you, and you don't feel this sense of support, sense of connection with this person. This could also be you feeling a little disconnected from your work right now. And guys, I want to go back to what I just said about that 8 of Earth. It's very common in the 8 of Earth, or the 8 of Pentacle energy, to feel this sense of disconnect, to feel like, am I really doing the right thing? I think maybe I need to change careers again. Or maybe this isn't for me. Feeling very like you're questioning yourself on some level. And I feel like a lot of you are going to be tapping into that. We have the Strength reverse. So some of you, this can mean 2 things, very specifically 2 things. So it depends on where you're at and your situation right now. For some of you, this can indicate you're feeling very vulnerable right now in a situation. So this could have to do with feeling very vulnerable in a relationship, recognizing that you're not getting the support that you need, knowing what you need, because you have the High Priestess energy here, knowing what you need, but feeling like you're not getting it and feeling very vulnerable about this, just really not being quite sure how to handle it. For others of you, this is a little bit of a warning card, like to keep your ego in check, because this can certainly be indicative of somebody's ego running amok and making decisions and having reactions instead of responses to situations, you know what I mean? That's based in fear, that's coming off as ego. I mean, some ego is normal and healthy. We all have ego, right? Everybody knows that. But this is more about, that kind of ego that's just like, seriously, like, get over yourself kind of vibe. Now, if it's not you, this could be something that you're being made to deal with, okay? The Fool reverse is an unwillingness to continue with this person in this situation, be it an intimate relationship, a friendship, family connection, you realizing you need to love somebody from afar, could certainly be it, yeah. Or an unwillingness to continue as you are in this job, okay? Yeah. You're really feeling like you're just not getting what you need in either this relationship or this job, this connection, whatever it is. There's a lack of support here. There's definitely a lack of support. So what I'm feeling here is the 10 of Pentacles can mean you having everything that you need, okay, in the way of resources. It doesn't mean that you're going to be a gajillionaire. It means that you're certainly going to have what you need and be comfortable. But it also means being in a space of feeling connected, really bonded to the situation that you're involved in, feeling understood. Okay, when we're talking about pentacle energy having to do with a relationship or in any other way other than resources, we're talking about a pretty big energy, guys. It's communication, it's intimacy, it's social life, it's how we do connection in all kinds of relationships. Okay, it's the how it's done. It's how healthy is it? How healthy is the way it's handled? And all of that, right? And this is you getting front and center with what with what's right for you and what's necessary, and you bring this to yourself. But I do feel like for some of you, the only way to bring this to yourself is to really tap into your intuition and recognize that what you're in or what you've been in up to this point has not served you, and it's got to go. And this doesn't have to be a relationship. This could certainly be, your job, your career, the capacity at which you're doing it now, right? But there's this idea, I could feel the fire in your belly. You really want to move your life forward. Be more successful in relationship. Be more successful at your job. Be more successful in your friendship circle. Have better connections with your family. You want all of this. You could feel it. You've been doing the work. It's like I could feel it from here, Virgo. You've been doing the work. The issue I don't feel like in this way is really not for lack of you. How do you say it? It's not like you haven't been putting in the work, not for lack. Right? You've been doing the work. You've definitely been doing the work, but it's just not giving you what it is that you want. Now, maybe that relationship they were a good person, they weren't right for you. Or maybe they weren't such a good person, they weren't supportive. But I don't get any nasty Emperor reverse energy here or anything like that. I just get this a lot of lack of support and unwillingness. A lack of support and unwillingness is what I'm getting here more than anything. Yeah, but it's the recognition of this and the understanding that this energy cannot stay in your life, and you need to embrace your High Priestess energy so that you can have that Ten of Pentacles come to you, because it's there, it's waiting for you. And then we have the Seven of Earth. And this is your challenge. And listen, the seven of Earth, like the Eight of Earth, right? Except the 7 is before that. So this is the challenge for you, may be in the idea of having to maybe take a step backwards in order to move forwards. Sometimes you have to take a couple of steps back in order to move forward. So, for example, before I even read these cards, what I'm getting here is that in order for you to have the Ten of Pentacles, that success, you're going to have to understand that whatever work you put in, if you're feeling like it's just not resonating with you anymore, and you really you just don't want to give it anymore, you realizing that you're going to have to shift your path. And in shifting your path, that means starting over somewhere new. And that's the Seven of Earth energy. The Seven of Earth is the apprentice energy. It's the energy of the apprentice. So if this has to do with a job, obviously it means you starting, in a lower, maybe not as elevated position as you are in now, but it's to propel you forward. If this has to do with a relationship, this could have to do with you either needing to sweep the decks clean and start over with this person. So in that way, kind of take a couple of steps back, or you kind of going back to the drawing board and realizing that in order for you to have the connections that you really want in your life, in order for you to have a happy heart and a happy space, you have to go back a little bit. You have to press the pause button a little bit, and you have to step back a few feet and really look at things. Now, I want you guys to remember how much energy you have going on in your house. I'm going to just call it your house of fun. So it's the house of kids, it's the house of gambling, it's the house of connections, it's the house of anything that you do for fun, your hobbies, anything that you really, really enjoy. And now this can include the level to which you enjoy doing your work, the level at which you find joy in your work. Okay, so you guys have a lot of energy in there because of the eclipses, and that's going all of 2020. So I'm just talking in general. I'm not only talking this time period. So there is this understanding that a lot of you guys are wanting to work on relationships with friends that maybe have fallen away from you, family, kids, reconnecting to a hobby that you took part in at one point, anything like that. So it could be the return of that for many of you, and you feeling a struggle going backwards in some sort of relationship in that way. For those of you, if this has to do with career, this is just going to require a little bit of patience, Look at this. This is the Seven of Earth, right? So it's Seven of Earth is the Seven of Pentacles. Different deck here, right? And we have the Tarot de la Nuit. First one is, what do we have? Seven of Pentacles. So there's definitely, you know, your challenge here is to adapt an apprentice kind of personality. You're starting a new cycle and there's a new version of you here. So there's going to be, you're going to have to relearn something or learn something new here. If it has to do with anything within a relationship, a job, any sort of connection, any sort of hobby that you're taking part in, anything like that. We have the Devil energy. So the Devil energy, you know, in the most basic sense, it does mean, you know, addiction is where people do go, right? I feel like I got this for you guys in the January 2020 reads, but the Devil energy is anything that's imbalanced, right? So apply that to your life however you see fit. Anything that's imbalanced, because isn't that what addiction is? There's nothing wrong with having a drink or two or three, even, you know, over a course of an evening. There's a problem when you're drinking a bottle. Like every day. You know what I mean? You know, any kind of partying, it's I guess it's acceptable, right? To, you know, within reason. Shopping, awesome. Too much shopping, not so awesome. That could be an addiction. You know, sex is great. Everybody likes sex, right? But too much of it is being obsessed and hyper-focused on only that, hyper-focused on gambling, hyper-focused on anything, hyper-focused on negative thinking. Hyper-focus on fears and insecurities and vulnerabilities. Anything where there's this lack of balance, that's where the Devil energy lives. That really is. So, and this is going to be a challenge for you, is in feeling balance in a certain area of your life. Then we have the Page of Swords, which is a new truth coming in. And I do like this a lot, okay? Because this is... The Page energy is not brand new. Page is a new cycle within something in your life that already exists. So this is exactly what I was saying before about a new approach to something that you're going to be taking. But this is going to resonate with you on such a beautiful level, Virgo. It really is, because swords are truth. And the Page is a beginning. The pages are the youngins of the court, you know. And then we have the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords energy does indicate that there's going to be some sort of argument. This can be internal. It can be in the 3D external with somebody, you know, outside of you. But it's a battle of the truth. And it's a fight about what's true, what's not true. So this could certainly have to do with you fighting for, let's say, a change that you want to make. Let's say you want to make a change in your career and your partner has a real issue with you doing that because they feel very afraid of money not coming in, or what it might mean to them in their life, you know, you making changes and how it's going to impact them. This could have to do with just somebody having this lack of acceptance. And I am getting that just because of what I did mention, the general vibe here that I have with you feeling a general lack of support in your life right now, Virgo, just generally speaking. Even for you Virgos who are really strong-willed, and I know so many of you are, where you feel like very strong kind of within your constitution, but wouldn't it be nice if we felt like somebody had our back, like really had our back? It's just a nice thing. It's a human condition. We'd all like it. Doesn't mean that you're dying without it, but wouldn't it be good to have it? But the idea here is that somebody's just not seeing... You're not sharing a truth with somebody. And what I mean by that is they're not seeing what matters to you, and you're not able to really see what matters to them either. It's like you're viewing the same thing but walking away with different perceptions of what's gone on, and you guys just can't see eye to eye. And that's what the Five of Swords energy is like. And then we have the Wheel in reverse. So this is about, you know, the wheel is all about fate, right? And you are trying to fight fate, Virgo, and you can't do that. It doesn't work. You can't control it. You can't control it. And this is so hard, particularly if you're feeling pushed, really pushed to end something that you feel inside of yourself. If only they would do this, if only they would do that, everything would be fine. If only I could have this at that job. If only my boss could stop doing this. If only they could give me the chance to do this. If only, if only, if only. And it's holding on to that. But this is the thing. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. What's meant for you is never going to be denied you in this life. Do you understand? What's truly meant for you is not going to be denied. For real, it's not. It's not. I have a million examples of this, and it would be a 2-hour video on that. The amount of incredible examples I have dealing with people that I work with. This is true. Even though you feel in your heart inherently like either you're very correct about something, and you really don't want to compromise on a certain something. You just don't want to give up on an idea. This is just really encouraging to recognize, Virgo, be honest with yourself. If you're not happy in something, you got to let it go, and you have to transform it. It can't stay in the same cycle that it's been. Just accept that, because it's fate. Don't try to fight it, because then it's only going to be more uncomfortable later on, So that's what I have for that. I feel like you guys are really kind of, any step back you make is just going to bring you to such a better place. You just have the 10 of Pentacles as your gift. Whatever you're realizing, this is really good. It's just really good. Very positive energy. So this is going to be for anyone, any Virgo who is in a relationship here, with relationship primarily on your heart. If you're in that space in your life, if you're open to it. Emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. Yeah, well, that makes sense. That makes sense for both sides of this. Letting go of the resentment of the lack of support, right, that you were feeling. And letting go of resentment for anything that you feel like you need to sort of go back to square one with, right? And feel like an apprentice in again. Yeah. Resentment really has no value anyway. I mean, even though we all feel it and we all know it, it's not the easiest thing to just say, okay, delete the resentment, but there's really no value in it, It doesn't contribute. So 6 of Air. 6 of Air is 6 of Swords, and I like it because this is a card of victory, my friend. I like it. You are taking yourself and you are moving out of a toxic situation to something that's much better, even if it's only emotionally and mentally right now. You might not be able to totally move out of it in the 3D right away, but what's beautiful here and what's the success here is there's a decision made. And it's a really healthy decision that's going to allow you to release any of this resentment, to release any of these blocks that are getting in the way of you having this 10 of Pentacle energy. And this is all because you're really tuning in to your High Priestess in this energy. And it's going to, you know what, guys? Honestly, this might sound a little heavy, but I don't feel like it's going to feel that way. Just because of how supportive the things that are going on in the sky will be during this time period. I just really think this is so positive for you. There's a letting go, there's a releasing, there's a moving out of the toxicity, there's a moving into a better space. There's this decision being made. Doesn't mean it's not going to hurt. It might hurt. But what's on the other side of it when you get there is really going to be so much better than where you've been. And the energy is just, there's so much success on the other side of this. And whatever that means to you, right? I mean, success is very, very subjective, but it's whatever it means to you. But yeah. All right. I like it. Yeah, Virgo, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys next week. Until then, bye-bye.